So, how does it feel to be inducted into the Hall of Fame and be around these people that celebrate your career?
It feels great. It's a big thrill for me. I'm very proud to be inducted into the Amherst Hall of Fame. It's a huge tradition here. 60 years it goes back, and it's great being part of it.
When we look back at old video of you, there's a lot of shots of you holding that Calder Cup and your time here. When you think back to those memories of that year, what stands out the most of that Calder Cup season?
Just how much work you put into it. Anytime anybody wins any championship, you got to have a little luck, you got to work hard, and you got to get the bounces. And, we were behind the 8 ball against Sherbrooke in the last series. I got hurt in the first series against Hershey and, didn't know if I can come back from that. But I put a brace on, came back, and, win the last 2 games, especially winning the last game in Sherbrooke, wasn't that easy of a feat. So it was something you remember forever.
When you think back to playing with Richie, when you think of him as a player, what do you think of?
Steady. He was offensive, but he was also a good defensive player. He had a lot of experience. He played in the NHL for many, many years, so it was more towards the end of his playing career. He was a lot older than us, so he gave us a lot of learning lessons and a lot of experience, and just for me, taught me how to play behind really an NHL defenseman.
What are you most proud of? What are you most proud of?
Just be proud. I had a 15-year NHL career. Played here probably 105 games. Just enjoyed it along the way. Just enjoyed the whole experience. As a kid growing up, that's what you want to do. I grew up in Northern Canada. You want to be an NHL hockey player, and for most guys, you don't make it. So for me to make it and play 15 years, that's a great memory for me.
How important was it just to have the veteran presence that was here?
Oh, we had Donnie Lever and Jack Bronschild, and we had a bunch of, obviously Richie, and a bunch of guys that we had a good mixture of young and old. And a lot of the guys that we had here had long careers in the NHL, the young guys, and we had a lot of guys that had long careers on the way down. It was a good chemistry. We had so much fun. We actually had more fun in Rochester, I think, than we ever did in the NHL.
Who's with you tonight, Darren?
I got 21 of us, so I've got family. I got all my kids are here, so it's nice to have my kids. 2 of my kids are in college now, so it's nice that we're all together. You don't really get that too often anymore, and I've got relatives and friends that I grew up with, and we're here in Rochester back 30 years ago when I was here.